Stabbed in the back by 23 dudes, he still had time to become a dictator, create the new calendar, and get with the hottest Victoria's Secret model alive. This is Julius Caesar. Born in 100 BC Rome, Caesar was a fatherless nerd from a broke nobish family who was one slave running away from bankruptcy.
Aww.
Basically the upper middle class if they still existed today. His mom was strict as hell. No playing outside, no fun, no nothing. Just studying, the damn nerd. Mommy's little prodigy grew up with 3 special abilities: public speaking, charm, and ungodly levels of manipulation that would make any of these guys lose on episode 1. Fast forward, and Caesar decides politics is his jam. He starts as a minor official, then when he's 16, he becomes the high priest of Jupiter. I didn't look up what they did, but this was before Christ, so there's none of those implications, you know. The same year, he married his first wife, Cornelia Cinna. Enter the big shot of Rome at the time, Sulla. He saw the raw, limitless potential of Caesar and wanted him gone, so he told Caesar to divorce the bitch or die. Caesar was like, nah, so instead of getting his head chopped off, he ran from his problems and joined the army. Sulla later pardoned him, and Caesar got the civic crown for bravery during the siege of Mytilene. Sulla dies of diabetes or something, I don't know, and Caesar becomes a lawyer, and since people back then hated lawyers too, he gets kidnapped by pirates. But Caesar's the main character, and he's got that dog in him. So he proceeds to make his captors look like a little bitch. They told him his ransom was 20 silvers. Pfft, 20 silvers? That's disrespect, guys. Let's make it 50. Wow, can he do that? So he ups his ransom to 50 silvers and spends the next 38 days chilling, writing poetry, roasting them for being illiterate douche nozzles, doing pull-ups on their peg legs, and getting them to wash his ass when he wanted something a little more sensual in nature. Then the ransom was paid. It was fun, gang. See you guys soon. Real soon, when I crucify the hell out of you guys. I'm gonna miss that guy. He was a great guy. Caesar then goes out to raise an army, which was impressive because he didn't hold any political or military office at the time. The guy just stood there aura farming, and his army came to him. They sailed out, found the pirates, and Caesar crucified the shit out of them. Ooh, 50 silvers. Then they sailed out to fight in the Third Mithratic War with statesman Pompey the Great. This guy was pretty great. He conquered Africa, crushed a slave revolt, and became king of the pirates after he killed them all. But he still looks like a virgin loser next to our boy here, Giga Chad Caesar. More on that later. They win the war? Because of course they do. Our boy's the main character here, and has that main character energy, and even though he didn't do diddly squat, he gets promoted to a commander. Probably because of his last name. But he decides to pick up the Patagonia vest and becomes the finance bro of Spain. But that doesn't last long. Like me in bed. He goes back to upgrade the Roman highways. Then he becomes Rome's official hype man, the Idole. He's responsible for Bob the Buildering buildings, and this is when his fame skyrockets faster than a vegan telling you they/them are vegan. An Idole was basically a glorified event planner, but Caesar didn't just do the job. Nah. He had plans and ambitions. He wanted that clout, so he threw down all his money and borrowed even more to throw the ancient equivalent of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour of his century. Rome went wild. Massive gladiator games, exotic animals, public feasts, blackjack, and hookers. Everybody loved it. This was Caesar's big brain moment. See, Roman politics didn't run on campaign slogans. Nah, they ran on vibes, and Caesar was vibing. He vibed so hard, they elected him praetor, then consul. Basically, he was the CEO of Rome. This is when Caesar formed an alliance with Pompey, who had the military connections, and Crassus, the Elon Musk of Italy. They called it the First Triumvirate. Caesar's time as consul was spicy. He bent laws, pushed reforms, bullied opponents, and made tons of haters on the Senate, and even made more enemies than Drake crossing into a school zone. Why? Well, he made the brave mistake of giving money to the poor. Big mistake. We all know what happens when you give money to the poor. Stab! When his consulship ended, his haters sent him to Gaul as a governor. Sounds pretty sweet, right? Nah, this place was full of barbarians to babysit. It was supposed to be boring, paperwork, taxes, the occasional border patrol, mundane shit, you know. They sent him there just to keep his ambitious, power-hungry ass busy and away from Rome. But Caesar doesn't do boring. Wow, this is all mine? Wait a minute. What's that I see over there? I want it! He spends the next 8 years invading all of Gaul and live blogs the entire thing in the Gaelic Wars. This was big brain play number 2. Victorious generals get parades, money, fame, and most importantly, loyal armies. He would swoop in, crush his opponents, and write about it like he's an Instagram influencer. Except, you know, without all the lying and bullshit. Day 5 in Gaul, met locals, pillaged them, 5-5, would conquer again. Battle of Arras, victory. Battle of Bybrocket, Victory, Battle of Vosges. Victory, Battle of Oxana. Victory, Battle of Sabris. Victory, 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 victory. Winner, Julius Caesar. Gauls defeated. His rep and riz were now off the charts. It was at this point that every man existed just to figuratively ride his dick, and women literally wanted to ride his dick. Speaking of women, after his first wife died, he married Pompeia, the daughter of Sulla, the same Sulla who wanted Caesar dead. He fucked his daughter, then divorced her to end up with Calpurnia. He also banged the hottest babe around at the time, but I'll get to that later. Caesar's too powerful, too famous, too everything. He's everything I want to be, and more. We gotta stop him now before he turns this democracy into a one-man show. Crassus dies. He's the guy who's bankrolling our boy here, but that doesn't matter. This war made Caesar stupid rich. Caesar's daughter dies from childbirth, who was married to Pompey. So with nothing tying them together, the triumvirate falls apart. Pompey sides with the Senate and tells Caesar, dissolve your armies and come home. You just gotta get re-elected as governor. That's it. Easy peasy. It's totally not a trap. It was a trap. So Caesar's got three options. Option A, obey the Senate, go home, get humiliated, maybe executed for some bullshit reason. Option B, take his army, march into Rome, and start a civil war. And option C, do nothing, sit back, relax, and enjoy his newfound riches and bitches. So the Roman Civil War begins. Caesar, his 13th legion, reaches the border between his province and Italy proper. It was called the Rubicon, and crossing it with an army, highly illegal. More illegal than what Diddy did. A big no-no. So Caesar crosses the Rubicon, and the Senate collectively shits themselves. Caesar marches into Rome, but the city is empty. Pompey has already kicked it out of there. Where did Pompey go? He goes to Greece. But he was so busy shitting himself that his dumbass forgot to take the treasury with him. At this point in the story, Caesar sends his janitors to clean up what remains of Pompey's forces. He cleans up in Spain, he cleans up in France, sweeps Greece, and Pompey runs to Egypt. Caesar follows him, but when Caesar finally backs him up to a corner, surprise motherfucker! It's a head. Caesar gets Pompey's head on a silver platter. Enter Ptolemy the 13th, the teenage king of Egypt. He was one of those dudes that figuratively wanted to ride Caesar's dick. So he gave Caesar Pompey's head as some sort of weird cult Egyptian foreplay thing, I don't know. He did this hoping that it would get Caesar to back him in his civil war against his sister Cleopatra. But mistakes were made. Just like girls that see me without pants, Caesar was horrified. And there's one other thing Ptolemy didn't count on, that dumb incestuous fuck. His sister was a tanned, smoking hot bombshell babe with anime levels of personality. And with every episode, that personality just grows and grows and grows till Caesar said fuck it to his vows and proceeds to jam his joystick, throw it across the wall, and smash it to smithereens, if you know what I mean. They have a kid, but he doesn't become a character until Julius Caesar the next generation. So just forget about him. Caesar backs this hot babe instead against her brother at the Nile. So Ptolemy drowns in the Nile, Cleopatra becomes pharaoh, and Caesar goes home to his wife. 2 civil wars later, 1 new baby mama, all in under 2 years. Giga Chad Caesar was efficient with both swords. Caesar, now the ultimate boss of everything, names himself dictator for life. Forces the whole world to use his calendar. That's the Julian one we still sorta use. Adds leap years just to fuck with February, and makes Rome great again. Enter Mr. Definitely Won't Stab You in the Back, Brutus. This kid fought alongside Pompey against Caesar. Caesar forgave him completely though, and even gave him a huge promotion. Why? Maybe because Caesar and his mom used to get it on.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding-dong.
But in a shocking twist, Mr. Definitely Won't Stab You in the Back stabs Caesar in the back. Then he gets stabbed 22 more times by his haters in the Senate. And that's how this Giga Chad dies. Not in battle, not in glory, but teabagged by 23 old men. So remember kids, even if you conquered continents or rewrote time, a group project can still screw you over. See you guys next time.